Now, as you guys know, the Adidas Yeezy 350 V2 Beluga Reflective has just dropped. And what that means is a lot of people got W's, but also a lot of people got L's. And the very next thing people do after they get L's is what? They hit the resale market and they're trying to cop what they just missed out on. But I want to stop y'all before y'all go too far into buying a resale sneaker so you can understand what's the difference between a real pair and a fake pair. Believe it or not, in 2021, there are still people ripping off people, finessing people, and trying to get them to buy fake sneakers. Hopefully, I can help you out in this video by educating you on what you should be looking for, and you can get a real pair. So here's a pair of Adidas Yeezy 350 V2 Belugas that I got from Foot Locker. 100% real. As you know, Foot Locker don't sell fakes, obviously. And here I have a fake pair that's actually a friend of mine. I have a friend of mine who really don't like paying that much for sneakers. He don't like paying that much for resale either. He actually wear these often, and I asked him, do you mind if I actually did a real versus fake? Of course, this pair is way more worn than mine. Obviously, these are like DS damn near. I tried them on for a review, but that's pretty much it. This pair is a little bit more worn, but I'm telling you guys, the same rules apply, whether you got a pair that's worn you're trying to buy or a pair that's new is trying to buy. These same rules will definitely apply to you, whoever else looking to figure out what's real and what's fake. So first thing first is actually the box. The box is one of the main ways to always tell if any sneaker is fake. Unfortunately, I don't have the box for the fake pair. The friend of mine who wear these sneakers got these like when they first came out, and he does not own the box for these. So unfortunately, I can't do like a box side by side, but I can still give you tips on what you're looking for if you do have a box. The Yeezy box is always a good measuring stick to know if a shoe is fake or real because of the sizing of the box. So if you were looking to buy a size 12.5, right? As you can see on the label, this is a size 12.5. So if you're looking for a 12.5 like I have, you'll simply put the box over the top of this box. Just place it on top and see if there's any differences with the sizing of the box. A lot of times these manufacturers that make fake Yeezys, the box size is never on point. Sometimes they do a good job. I will give y'all more pointers down the line, but that's like the first rule to figure out if your pair is real or fake, judging by the box size. That's like one of the most common errors that a lot of manufacturers use. Now for some things I can actually show you about the Yeezy that you don't need the box for. So this is the real pair of Yeezys that I got from Adidas, and I want this to get like up close so y'all can see this. Whenever you're trying to figure out if a Yeezy is real or fake, especially the Beluga, I want you to check out the orange stripe that's going on the side panel of the shoe. Do you see how close this orange is right here to the stitching right here? It's very important that you look at the small things. Sometimes it's not going to be like huge differences between the shoe, but I just want you to see like the small gap that's from here and here. It's not really a big gap. It's actually a small gap. Now let's compare that to this fake pair of Yeezys, okay? If we take a look at this fake Yeezy, right? You're seeing how small the gap was on a real pair. This gap is way wider. It's a way wider gap. No way should it be that far. And it'd be small things like this that kind of point you in the direction of real versus fake. So I do like a side by side here. You know what I'm saying? Look how small the gap is here. It's literally right there by the collar. You can see it's like right there. Now if we compare that to the fake pair, you will see that the gap is way larger. It's not even close. It's a way larger gap. Another way you can check to see if your pair is fake from real is the actual color of the orange supply sign. So look at this orange. It's a lot lighter, right? It's a nice little light tint, almost vibrant. A lot of times when manufacturers make fake Yeezys, it's a lot darker. And like I said, this is something that you wouldn't commonly see if you were just to wear these out or if you was just to buy them straight up. You need a reference shoe to pick up on small things like that. There's definitely a difference between the shades of orange. If you look at the top shoe, it's a lot lighter. You look at the bottom shoe, it's a lot darker. You see that? It's two totally different shades. Once again, you probably wouldn't even notice these things if you don't pay attention, or you wouldn't notice these things if you don't have a reference sneaker. So I'm telling y'all, bro, reference sneakers are key. You want to bring something real to a meetup or a sneaker con, or at least have photos, something that you can kind of measure things up with, because you can't just eyeball a shoe and be like, yep, it's real, it's fake. It's not gonna work like that. A few other details that I did notice about the Beluga is when you look at the supply 350, right? It's smooth. It's just one smooth, complete motion. Now, I do want to say some manufacturers are better than others. So you might see some fakes that don't have the exact same details, but all these things are stuff that you should probably look over. So we look at the fakes. You see jagged edges on the back right here, right? Jagged edge here. You also see like some jagged edges coming up here. All that stuff is caught, bro. Look how jagged that is. That's actually not the best fake. Some fakes are better than this pair, don't get me wrong, but like I said, it's definitely a lot of inconsistencies on the upper of the shoe you want to look for, especially buying Yeezys. I think that the Adidas Yeezy is probably the most produce fake out of all shoes, and a lot of it has to do with it not being very expensive to replicate. I mean, it's nothing but a prominent upper, a little bit of boost technology, you got a little bit of rubber here. I'm telling y'all, buying Yeezys can be a little bit skeptical, but like I said, back to this pair, it's smooth. It's smooth. It's no jagged edges. It's none of that. As we look at this pair, look at the top pair. Look how like going towards the front, it's a lot more jagged. You see that? This is way more smooth. That bottom pair is just way more smooth. It still has the ridges though. It still has the ridges up top. You can see that, but it's just way more smooth than a pair like this, which is just like very aggressive. Another thing that's kind of cool to keep your eyes about on Yeezy is I've noticed that when manufacturers make fake Yeezy, it's something about like the spacing is always off. I showed y'all how the spacing was off right here by the actual stitching. And I also noticed that spacing can be off when it comes to the supply stripe because the spacing just not good enough. Like, so as you can see the real pair here, the real pair pretty much curves up at an angle when it kind of gets to almost like the toe box area, right? The fake pair, it curves up way too far. Look at the spacing between the stripe and the midsole. It's a thick, huge gap. And that's why I say like the spacing is usually off a lot. Compare that to something like this, right? The spacing is not off that bad. The spacing is way off on this pair, and it kind of curves up way more than an OG pair or a real pair would have. You see that? Huge difference between the two. Huge difference. Also, you can also tell how this is kind of getting a little bit staticky up here. The paint isn't as thick. It doesn't look as good. That could be from wear and tear. But if you look at this pair, you see how it's way more consistent. That orange stripe going across is not as consistent on a fake pair as it is in the real pair. These are details you can catch right off the bat. It shouldn't even take a lot of time for you to catch these minor details. Other things that you can notice right off the back when it comes to a fake Yeezy and a real Yeezy is just the form of the shoe. So here's a real Yeezy that I got from Foot Locker, right? You can press this, you see that? The form of the shoe is way more stiff. I'm not even holding back. I'm punching this thing down. I'm punching this thing down. It's still standing strong. Compare that to a fake Yeezy. The form is always bad. Watch this. It already folded. It literally already folded. It's already folded. It's done. It's done. I kind of got to pick this back up, form it again. But it's folding. It's over with. If you compare that to a shoe like this, of course it's prominent. If you press down on it, the shoe will fold. But what I'm saying is like the prominent is not that weak. Like you see this, bro, how flimsy this is? It shouldn't be like, you know what I'm saying? That's really bad. So the way the shoe holds form is also direct way to know if the sneaker is real or fake, because a Yeezy should hold its form. It should definitely hold its form a lot better than majority of all the fakes. Another thing you can check is the insole. As you guys know, I'm gonna grab this is the real pair, okay? This is the real pair of Adidas Yeezys. And I don't know if you'll be able to see this because of the lighting in the studio, but every outsole not only has a serial number, and the serial number should have the size shoe that you wear, it also has like a certain cut that the sole should look like. So I'm gonna show you this, right? First off, here's the sole. Let you see that. And this is the code I was telling you about. And I got a 12.5. So you see that? It'll say 12.5 on that thing if it's real. Now let's check out these fake soles real quick. Let me bring these out and see what it has. By the way, like I said, these were worn a lot too. Like you could tell these things were worn. But yeah, right off the bat, the way this feels is terrible. If you compare the way these two feel, the real one is way more thicker. It's a lot more padding here. This one, it doesn't even have the serial number at all. It doesn't have the serial number. It doesn't have the size like this one has. Compare these two. The top one has the size and serial number, right? If you can focus, the top one has the size and serial number. The second one doesn't even have that. That's the immediate giveaway. It doesn't have the size or serial number. Another thing is it doesn't even have the correct form. So they tried to like emulate the correct form, which is almost like, you know, this fake ridge material that's like on the upper. You see like this fake ridge right here? A real pair actually has ridges on it. So the real pair will have like these ridges on here. So I gotta kind of get close to show y'all. This is like their imitation of the ridges here. That's not good enough. That's actually not even close. Now I do want to go back to the conversation we was having about how manufacturers are getting better with creating fakes. One of the ways you used to be able to tell right off the back if the shoe was fake or not was actually, believe it or not, by the paper that was in the shoe. But they gotten better. Like, the brands that send out these fakes, they caught on, right? They're just like anybody else. They evolve over time. If they realize people are figuring it out, look, these things are coming with fake Foot Locker receipts. They come with fake StockX tags. Like, don't believe or don't think just because you got a StockX tag with your shoe, it's real. Even that can be duplicated, so I wouldn't even be too crazy over that. If you didn't buy the shoe from GOAT or StockX yourself, I would just leave it be, because that does not mean that the sneaker is real. There are fake StockX tags. There are fake GOAT stamps. Like, that's what happens. Manufacturers have got better with like the tissue paper in the shoe, so that used to be one of the easy giveaways, but like I said, they've gotten better. Actually, looking at both of these sneakers, right, one of the things that I didn't point out that I could point out is the padding on real pairs are always better than fake pairs. That's another thing that manufacturers just haven't been able to master. So on this side, I got a real pair, and if you just check the padding, right, the padding on the inside here, the padding on the back, even the padding here will always be better than fake pairs. The padding is so minimalistic, it's so bad, it's so cheap. You can kind of feel it. Some pairs are better than others, but these are things that you won't understand or things that you won't comprehend unless you have to have something to like go back to. You gotta have something to like, okay, this is how it should feel, boom, boom, boom. Because if I don't have that and I'm just feeling, I feel cushioned, it feels soft. But you need that reference to understand like exactly what it should feel like. But the padding is never correct on these. The cushion is never correct on these. It's always off, and you can easily tell when you have an actual real shoe ahead of you. So guys, hopefully this video really helps out a lot of y'all, man. I know a lot of people didn't get W's. I wanted to kind of help y'all be able to make the proper decisions when it comes down to buying real sneakers versus fake sneakers. It's not a knock on anybody who likes fakes. As you see, my boy rocks fakes, you know what I'm saying? That's still my dog, you know? Your job is your job. What you like is what you like. I'm just trying to prevent the people who actually want to buy a real sneaker and who not trying to get finessed by people trying to take advantage of you may not knowing what you're looking for. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, man. Make sure you leave a like so I can help out other sneakerheads just like you who might need the help. By leaving a like, you can definitely allow this video to reach a lot more people and go a lot further. Make sure you guys subscribe, follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Everything is linked down below. And until next time, man, I'll see y'all later. It is your boy, Sniper Jones. You know I cannot leave without saying everybody want to be famous, but who really putting in that work, though? Snipe Squad, I love y'all. Dream big.